for my own graduation way back in the 20th century, 1999, before most of you were born. And I must admit, I was a little cynical about the whole graduation ceremony. The pomp and circumstance felt unnecessary. But as I sat in those same seats you're sitting right now, as I experienced my commencement in that stadium with all my friends and classmates, sharing in this big rite of passage, the ceremony made me feel something. I was inspired. I was proud. I felt connected to my thousands of fellow graduates. And since then, through all these years, from all that life gives and all that life takes, I've come to realize that we should savor these moments. Take the time to pause and reflect, to revel in our accomplishments and with our communities. Celebrate with the people we love. So do me a favor, class of 2024. Can we just take a breath and let it soak in? Look at the people around you, your people. Take a mental snapshot. Savor it, relish it, remember it. Something we all could use a little more of these days. Let's talk about hope, about the faith that you give me for the future, about the optimism I feel when I look into your faces. Why do I have so much hope, class of 2024? It starts with you and your unique education. President Snyder rightfully deemed this class the solidarity generation, a class that recognizes, thanks to the challenges you've overcome, that the most effective way to drive change, to find joy, to survive, is by doing it together. From a once-in-a-century pandemic, like Yinka said, you learned the importance of caring for one another. It empowers you to give. And I see your commitment to service reflected in the host of organizations at the heart of campus life here, from the Pam Rector Center for Service and Action. Harm them, one by one, or family by family, or community by community. This sort of attitude is a dangerous thing. All of history's worst moral catastrophes, from slavery to genocide, are fueled by this sort of dehumanization. And the autocrat's playbook usually involves identifying someone as an other or enemy, dehumanizing them, and then saying, I alone can fix it, or I alone can impose law and order, or dispense with democracy, dispense with checks and balances and the rule of law. You need a strong man. You need to concentrate power with me and take it away from the people where it belongs. The injustice they've wrought, the wars they've started, the lives they've destroyed. And those of us who believe in our shared humanity, in democracy, should be worried that these forces of dehumanization might have their way again in 2024. Our problems are not neat. The solutions are not easy, and I'm not going to suggest that they are. But I believe, and I'm certain your LMU professors do too, that a great education teaches you that your job is to think critically. To challenge assumptions to question the status quo, to interrogate the common wisdom. Moral clarity is certainly comfortable. We prefer for everything to be black and white. Social media pushes everyone to pick a side. And yet, most things happen in those shades of gray. Humanity, life, is filled with nuance and complexity. And I say lean into that nuance, engage with the complexity. So how do we do this? How do we do this, class of 2024? How do we engage with complexity? We do it by listening with more humility, listening with more curiosity, listening with more intentionality, listening with more empathy. After all, with the freedom of speech comes the responsibility, the community responsibility to listen to each other, to give a full and fair hearing. We engage with complexity by recognizing that in a multiracial, multi-ethnic, pluralist democracy, we are going to disagree. That's inevitable. The noise and the mess are features, not bugs. At the same time, though, diversity and difference need not be synonymous with intractable division. Even when we disagree, we have, as you've learned here, there are profound limits to what war can accomplish. War may win territory, but it does not win hearts and minds. War can subjugate, but it cannot unify. War can destroy, but it cannot build. And the ultimate weakness of violence, Dr. King said, is that it only begets more violence. Violence leads only to vengeance and reprisal, fire to more fire. We know this, all of human history affirms it, and Dr. King said repeatedly during another period of national upheaval and campus unrest that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Great-grandson of a preacher, the nephew of several preachers. I grew up going to a lot of church, and I've heard a lot of sermons. And what many of us learned during those Sunday sermons, and I'm sure some of you have learned at this fine Jesuit Marymount University, is that there isn't just one kind of love. There are at least three. There's eros, romantic love, the intoxicating love, the love that burns hottest. You know, the type of love that makes you want to sing. All of me loves all of you. Hey, I made a career of that kind of love. Then there's philia, brotherly and sisterly love. That means love for our family and friends, love for our teammates, love for the places that shape us. It's the love that has you picking up a Mendocino Farm sandwich for your buddy, or throwing them in Foley Pond on their birthday. But I want to spend some time on the third kind of love, class of 2024. The type of love that Dr. King called the most powerful, transcendent kind of love. It's called agape. Yes. Agape is the universal love that's intrinsic to the human heart. The love that burns the longest. It's bigger than any of us because it resides in all of us. Friendly announcer, I've got serious news to pass on to everybody. You know that love in need of love today. Oh, don't delay, send yours in right away. We need love, LMU.
I now confer on each of you who is eligible the degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining to that degree. In witness thereof, you will receive from the university a diploma signed by the respective officers of the university. Class of 2024 LMU alumni, congratulations.